Hi, everyone, and welcome to Talk with Alana podcast. In this episode, I want to tell you how somebody who I've been mentoring went from zero to $100,000 per year in a fairly short period of time. And I want to tell you and kind of like talk you through the whole journey of this person so you understand that this is possible for you as a newly licensed immigration consultant. All right, so today in the morning, I actually received a message on LinkedIn, and somebody messaged me saying that, like, hey, I just enrolled in Queen's University, and it's $20,000 tuition fee. It's a big investment. I'm wondering if you would be able to tell me, like, is it really good career path, and can I make? And that person specifically says $4,000 per month with this business. And that's why I decided to record this episode because the truth is, I have a whole bunch of mentees that would be such a good example of what really is possible during that your first year of practice, during that first year of you having a business and being full-time in your business. All right, so let me guide you through this story. So this person came to me to one of my programs September 2024. And in September 2024, she said that it's been 3 weeks since I got my license. So she got her license August 2024. So she came to one of my programs right in September, and we started kind of working together, getting to know each other. And the first thing that we did, we established her pricing. So we audited her pricing, what she was intending to price her consultations as, cases as, and we looked into like what would be a good pricing strategy in this case. And remember, every case, like business case, is different, truly. So it may be not applicable to you specifically, but for somebody who is literally starting from zero, and I'm talking about a person who got her license yesterday and had zero exposure to this business, zero work experience in this business, zero, referrals or anything like that, like zero. She came with zero. So in this specific situation, I do think that it's important to charge fair for your consultations, for your retainers, but at the same time to keep it on a lower end of the average charges in our industry. So we wanted to find that balance that she still compensated well, but at the same time, that she has a really high conversion rate of people who find her and people that she appears in front of, that they would be willing to pay that amount of money for consultations and retainers, that the money is not being such a big barrier for them just because we wanted to generate that momentum. So we looked at the pricing, we established the pricing, we established certain outlook on what she will be specializing in. And she is a pretty classic girl. She specializes in express entries, spousal sponsorships, Ontario PNP. So, pretty classic, nothing out of normal. And then we started talking about marketing. So the first thing, what we did, being really, really clear on pricing and finding that middle ground on pricing, but also being very, very clear on who you are trying to attract. Express entry, okay, express entry whom? In Canada, outside of Canada? Health professionals or IT people or everybody with 400 or 530 points? Digging deep into that. So that was the first stage, what we did. All right. Now, once we defined pricing, we defined it, who is our clientele or desired dream client would be. Then we moved on, trying to get some momentum in marketing. And in this specific case, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you guys here because this case is very interesting. So she actually started consistently, I would say more or less posting from September 2024. So right away when she got her license. And she tried different platforms. She tried a bit of LinkedIn, a little bit of Instagram, a little bit of TikTok. And she quickly realized that TikTok gets way more traction way faster. So she started posting more and posting more in a good sense of a word, aggressive on TikTok. And I was just before recording this episode, I just went on her TikTok and I wanted to see how consistent she was in September 2024. So right when she started, October 2024, November 2024, and she was pretty consistent, more or less, couple days here, couple days there, skip. But she was like from September to November. And then December and half of January, she completely fell out of track. And she was just like not motivated, not posting. She felt like she's just not seeing traction. And I would be very honest with you guys. She started working with me in September and she was just not seeing traction, not seeing, she was trying different things. She was, doing all the things that she was supposed to do. And she simply was not seeing traction. But the thing is that what I noticed is that she kept kind of like having this inner battle within herself, is that okay, I'm going to post consistently, and she would push, but then it would be a week or a moment or a day when it's like, is it really going to work? Like, is it really the strategy? Is it like this silly TikTok is really was going to take it? So she kept kind of like falling off the wagon, but then climbing back on until she finally really fell off the wagon, December. And then mid-January, that's when she joined my container program. So that was her second program that she joined. And everybody who joins container, they kind of, most of people, they have to do our 90-day challenge. So then that's when she got really serious about creating marketing momentum and actually learning about marketing and learning about what content types they are. What is the visibility content? What's nurturing content? What's a conversion content? What activities or what topics she can do in her videos, or she can discuss in her videos to generate the result that she wants. Is it about views, or is it about consultation booked? Is it about what about throwing a webinar? Like all of these things, they started appearing in January, middle of January. That's when she started, really working truly hard on generating marketing momentum. And things did not come easy to her. Again, not gonna lie, things did not come easy. So she was having her first consultation bookings here and there in February. It was couple consultation bookings, but nothing, no real momentum, no real feeling of momentum. And I'm not gonna lie, like she was constantly doubting, like, is it going to work? She was constantly like, she was seeing results of other people and thinking like, but it's not happening for me. Maybe it will not happen for me. But instead of falling into that doubt, it's very funny because she's actually very introverted person and very shy at the same time, extremely smart and intelligent person. And what she did, she put all of the efforts into actual studying, researching how marketing works, how content works. And and through our container program, we were really, really facilitating that kind of learning and growth. And so she was just trying to generate and like to push her marketing. She was doing a lot. And guess what? She started feeling momentum only in April 2025. So I'm going to actually give you numbers in a second in terms of how her progression went. But I want to stop here and just acknowledge the fact that the person got their license in August 2024, and she was doing all the things right. And I was there to confirm that she was doing all the things right. And the real revenue, real momentum, real stuff, she started feeling only April 2025. So that is more than 6 months. So let's put it like around 6 months it took for her to really get the machine going. And I will not lie, that's not unprecedented. That's not something unusual. If you're starting from zero, yeah, it's going to take time to get to the level of marketing, get your knowledge, your skill of marketing, your skill of business ownership to the level when you see the results. You know, when you plant seeds in the ground, they don't just like magically come up, a magic bean comes up overnight. It doesn't work like that. When you plant seeds in the ground, it takes time for them to grow, right? To come out of the ground. And that's exactly what happened here. This whole September to right up until beginning of April, she was putting seeds in the ground. And she is one of the biggest like hard workers I know. And she was relentlessly just, doing all the things that we were discussing that she should be doing. And guess what? April 2025, it was just one moment. And it just fired up, and it actually happened to be our event. So I do this yearly event. Actually this year I did it twice, but it's yearly event. We do Canadian Immigration Summit, and I invite all of my RCIC mentees that are in my business container program or do one-on-one coaching with me. I invite all of them to participate in this business summit. And I honestly don't know what is the magic behind this event, but this event truly generates so much momentum for my mentees. And one of the biggest case studies is this specific person that I'm talking about today, because in April, after 6 months of hearing crickets, literally hearing crickets and doubting if this is even a right choice, after 6 months, she just had a blast of consultations. Just of that one event, I think she got around 6 or 7 consultation bookings, which she couldn't believe her eyes. And from there, things just skyrocketed. So she got the momentum. So she planted the seeds. All 6 months, she was planting the seeds. And finally, everything kind of like fired up in April. And I'm going to read you numbers here. So in May, she had 9 consultations. In June 2025, 9 consultations. In July 2025, she had 11 consultations. In August 2025, she had 15 consultations. In September this year, she had 21 consultations. In October this year, she had 21 consultations. Now, I don't have numbers on cases, but she has a lot of cases, let me tell you. She has a lot of cases. She has, I think I actually have it here. She has, because we track all of this and we have monthly meetings and weekly check-ins and daily check-ins with my mentees. So we actually track the numbers. So we have, at least like 3 to 4, like pretty high value, like express entry, P&P retainer agreements per month. So she has also like very high rate people that book her consultations to people who sign retainer agreements with her. Now her life and her business, it's been 1 year or a little bit longer, I guess, than 1 year since she got her license, right? And her business literally looks completely different. It's insane how much she accomplished within this 1 year. And she is not just very well on track of doing $100,000. She's very well on track to hiring, because right now we're talking about hiring her first employee, because now she has so much volume. Well, you can imagine having 20, and that's just a start, 21, 25 consultations per month with 3 to 4 retainer agreements for permanent residence cases. On top of that, right, you need help. Like you're at the point when you're burning out, you're at the point when you're busy. So we are right now focusing on her processes, but also on hiring help. And that's what we actually going to discuss in the next episode. So if you want to watch and stay tuned for the next episode, I'm going to talk about what to do when you feel like you're too busy and you're just constantly running in this race. And if you need help, but you have troubles hiring or have troubles figuring out if you can even afford hiring, and how to deal with all of that delegation and how to structure your processes. So if you are in the shoes of this one mentee who in 1 year went from literally zero, and I'm not joking when I say zero, to having an immigration practice that not only pays her bills, provides her living, and has a pretty good cash flow, but at the point when she's like, I am too busy, guys, I'm too busy. We need to do something with it. We need to look into processes, hiring. We need Alana help me because I am feeling busy. And this person went in 1 year from zero to busy. So if you are in that kind of final stage when you're like, I have good problems, which is too many clients, but it doesn't feel like it's a good problem. I feel too busy. So the next episode will be for you when I will talk about how to structure your immigration firm staff and who's supposed to do what, in my opinion on SOPs and procedures and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned. Going back to my case study, I think what's also fascinating that happened to this person is that she relentlessly, from month 0 to month 6, was truly determined to hit the target. And she heard crickets, things were not on her side, marketing, I don't know, algorithm, whatever you want to call it, universe was just not on her side. But she was just putting efforts out there. And what I can say was not easy. It was emotional roller coaster, but she just was super determined. And when you really so focused on that, and when you, I think the key word here is trust the process. When you trusting the process and you have a support system and you have people who are telling you like you're not crazy, you're doing everything right. You just need to trust the process that if you plant the seeds and you water the seeds are going to grow. And the problem is that sometimes without that support system, without reassurance, it's really actually hard to trust the process. I myself fall off the track all the time. And I don't blame anyone who falls off the track because life is very unpredictable right now, immigration landscape, business. But I think trusting the process and having that kind of North Star guiding you is so important. So that's why I wanted to create this episode to show you what is possible. And it's not like my, best case and it's a one person who did this. I have a room full of people who are on track to do exactly what this specific mentee that I'm talking about did. She, in just 1 year, went from zero to having built substantial business, and she's about to give employment to somebody else. She's about to actually provide provide living wage to somebody else, which is huge. And that's why us entrepreneurs, we are working to create employment, right? And that's what she's about to do. So has it been easy? Absolutely no. Could she quit 10 times along the way? Yeah, she had an option to quit. She had an option to go back to her previous job. She had an option to go back to her previous career. She, as all of us, we all have options, right? But the determination and trusting the process got her to where she is right now. And I want you guys to take this as almost like your North Star. Um, just trust me that if you are starting out, you will be where you want to be very, very soon before you know it. And you just need to go through the steps that are required to be there. You just need to be determined, and you need to make sure that you prioritize your marketing, you prioritize your content, you prioritize getting out there. You don't expect that clients just come to you just because, right? But I can promise you that this will happen to you because I see it happening every single day. And sometimes it seems like it's so hard to make $100,000, but in reality, is much easier than you think. You just need to understand the steps and the blueprint, but also you need to keep your eyes on the goal and not give up or not doubt yourself. Have trust in yourself and the process and the fact that everything will work out. It will work out. I see it working out more often than not working out. So, yeah, I just hope I brought optimism with this episode. And I hope that in 2026, if you are in the same shoes as my mentee was in 2024, that if you are in the same shoes, you got your license recently or fairly recently, or maybe you're transitioning from a different full-time job to this business, I really want you to remember that if you decide 2026 to be your breakthrough year, it is going to be your breakthrough year. But you need to decide that. That's number one. And you need to commit to that. If you commit that 2026 is your breakthrough year, I can promise you that you will see exact same, if not better, results that this mentee that this episode is about has seen in 2025. Because last year we had exactly the same conversation with her, and it's been 1 year, and see where she is. So, long story short, if 2026 is your breakthrough year, please send me a message. Send me a message on LinkedIn, on Instagram, comment below, and just say 2026 is my breakthrough year. Because if you announce it into universe and if you say it out loud, that 2026, this is a year when I'm going to build my business, and my business is going to be my full-time job, and it's going to provide all the revenue and all the income that I need. And 2026, that's a year that I'm going to make it happen. So if you are on board with that, comment below or contact me on LinkedIn, contact me on Instagram, and just say 2026 is my breakthrough year. Put it out in the universe, and I would be more than happy to hear from you. And if you ever need any advice or anything at all, let me know. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I'll see you soon. Stay tuned to the next episode where we talk all about what to do when you're already there and when you're already busy, and now you just need a little bit more balanced life. So we'll talk all about it in my next episode.